Hey guys, good morning, everybody. Happy Monday. Today is Monday, October 17th. It is 6:20 right now. Market's going to open in about 10 minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and set up this room real quick, and then we can get started with our analysis shortly. So just give me a few more minutes to finish updating this room real quick, and we'll get started in a few moments. So got this set up right here. It's good. It's good. All right, cool. Let me get this link sent out to you guys here in the premium. And we should be good to go. All right, solid. So I'll get a few moments for people to make their way in. What I'll do here is I'll mark up a couple zones. Probably not going to mark up all the zones because relevance here is, I guess, be a bit of an issue. So I'm just going to mark up a couple zones here. I don't think price will come down. I mean, we'll see what happens when the market opens, but I'll just mark up these zones for now. Or, I should just mark up one big zone because it's such a mess down here. All right, got that marked up. So let's see who's here. Morning, Kenny. Morning, Peter. Morning, Patricia. Morning, everybody. As you guys can see on the chart, there's a lot of entries here that came up. So if you guys are looking over here at the high-low quick scalp, there's a bunch of entries that came up. There's actually one that's running right here. I'm not going to take it because market's going to open in a few minutes, but actually there's not one here yet. There was the one that was right here, full TP. And there was another one down here as well. That was a full TP right there. So a lot of these entries are coming up. Possibly this one right here, if this ends up closing without the buy signal. I'm not going to take this trade, but I'll mark it up so that you guys are aware of like these certain entries that are coming up. Our main focus today, and probably the next couple of days moving forward, next couple of weeks, will be the V1 variation. High-low, the V1 variation, the V2 scalp, and the V1 variation, and then the SR scalp, and then the high-low quick scalp. So basically, it's three different strategies for each type of market condition. The V1 works in directional markets, the SR scalp works during ranging markets, and the high-low quick scalp works in a little bit of both. It's a bit of a hybrid. So we'll be looking at those there. There's no entry right here, guys, just FYI. There's a sell signal, so you can't be looking for any buys here. You're looking for highs. But there's a lot of entries here that came up. I actually took a couple last night during Asia session. I took one like really early on accident. Stop loss was like 200 pips, so it triggered my stop loss due to the spread. But I did take two right after that, brought it back into profit. So that's just my pre-market trades. But for here, there were a couple here that I missed. Patricia over here, luckily she took them. So you can see her profits right here. She locked in all wins here for 1,000 profit. And then on her second account, she locked in 1,035, a bunch of wins right here as well. So I know a lot of you guys have been applying them or applying the strategy on your own, which is great because it does work very well. But if I see anything here, I'll definitely mark it up and I'll let you guys know if I'm taking it. If I'm taking it, I'll count it as an official trade because I'm going to be taking it. But if not, I will let you guys know and give you guys a heads up, prior. One thing that I want to mark up here is the directional confluences. So let's take a look at the sentiment real quick. Sentiment is currently 60% long. All right, so sentiment right here is 60% long. Fundamentals over here are currently 400 points in the green. It's pretty high. 4-hour trend over here is bullish. 1-hour trend over here, also bullish. 30-minute trend, bullish. 15-minute trend, bullish. And the 10-minute trend, also bullish. So we might be looking for buys today. I mean, we'll see. The overall bias right now is currently bullish, but this can easily shift when the market does open shortly, which is going to happen pretty soon. So market is opening in about 4 minutes. Let's take a look at the news real quick over here. So 5 things to know before the stock market opens on Monday. Volatility and earnings. We have earnings this week. Goldman Sachs, Netflix, United Airlines, Procter & Gamble, Tesla, American Airlines, and Snap, Tuesday through Thursday. New economic plan for the UK. Bank of America, good earnings. War in Ukraine still going on. And right here it says Kanye pulls a Trump. So he's agreed to buy the right-wing friendly social media app Parler, which is, I mean, I don't know what's going on with Kanye. You guys have seen all the craziness. A lot of people have been cutting him off. He's basically buying this right-wing app because I guess Facebook, Twitter, Instagram are like limiting him on his postings because he's posting some crazy stuff. But I mean, whatever. We'll see how that affects the market. Anyways, guys, good morning. Today is Monday, October 17th. Happy Monday, everyone. Market is opening in about 3 minutes. We'll see how this happens when the market opens here. Price has been pushing up, so it's kind of due for retracement. So it might get either a strong push up and then correction back down, or the opposite. It might get a push down, correction back up, right? So be careful on open, guys, because Monday is typically one of the riskier days to trade. I mean, most of you guys know that, so it shouldn't be too much of an issue, but we will be looking for entries using the 3 main strategies: the V1 variation, V1, or I guess there's multiple variations to each strategy. So the V1 variation, V1 continuation, the SR scalp, which is going to be one of our main ranging strategies, and then the new strategy that we've started to apply, which is going to be the high-low quick scalp. If you guys are not familiar with that, no worries. You guys will see how it applies. I'm going to try to focus on the charts as much as possible so you don't miss any trades. The next thing that we'll be doing is later today, the mentoring session. I'll be going over that strategy in detail. So it's fine if you guys don't understand it yet. If anything, I'll go over it towards the end of the session and more in depth during the mentoring session today. So just sit tight and we'll see where the market goes right here on open. Market is opening in about a minute. So the market opens, we'll be looking for some possible entries here. The closest zones are down here, so that it does not look like we'll be having any SR scalps anytime soon. Main things we'll be looking for are going to be variations and the high-low quick scalps. I'll mark up liquidity over here. As you guys can see, there's a lot of liquidity here on the bottom. So don't be surprised if price comes crashing down all of a sudden, because all this liquidity is going to have to get hit at some point, right? It's inevitable. It's going to get hit at some point. So market is opening right here at 6:30, which is in about 10 seconds. So this is a clean chart. Leave that marked up so that you guys can see where price is likely to go. And market is now open, guys. So market is now open. It's skyrocketing up right there. It's doing kind of what I was mentioning earlier. I wouldn't recommend chasing this because price is due for retracement. So it is having this initial push to the upside. Doesn't necessarily mean it's going to keep pushing. Might be due for some retracement at some point. So you might want to be a little careful with taking this entry here. If this does close as a strong green candle, this would technically be the breakout. However, I'm not looking to take it because, as I mentioned, price is super overextended and it's due for, the obvious retracement at some point here. So it does look like it's probably going to close. Again, not one that I'm planning on taking. I'll mark it up for you guys if you guys want to follow it, but I'm not going to take it. I do find it to be super risky. One thing to keep an eye out for would be the wick on top, depending on how big it is. So there's a strong green candle right there. This would technically be the breakout for today. I'm not taking it. I'll just follow it, but just FYI, I'm not in this trade right here. I'll be looking for price for a trace back, provide me some entries in either direction. So there goes the breakout right there. Let's set an alert so we can follow it. But again, I'm not in this position, guys. Still not comfortable with taking the breakout yet, especially not on a Monday. See how far did it push up so far? Pushed up about 310 pips. And here we are with the retracement coming back down. This right here would technically be a V1 in the opposite direction. I would not be taking this because the V1 requires that you have an overall bias. Overall bias right here is bullish. As you guys can see, retail sentiment is currently 60% long. Fundamentals are up 400 points. 4-hour trend is bullish. 1-hour trend is bullish. 30-minute, 15-minute, 10-minute, they're all bullish. So I'm not looking to take a sell here for any V1s if they do come up. I'm looking for buys here for the most part. Nice morning, Patrick. Patrick actually took it for 100 pips right there. So nice for Patrick. Quick profit. Morning, Stern. Morning, Maria. Morning, Karen. Morning, Patricia. Morning, everybody. So, all right, guys, let's see where this goes. Again, if you guys are just joining the room, just FYI, I'm not in this position right here. This is the breakout. Reason for that is the overall bias is bullish. Trend meter is bullish. Price is above the pivots. We had the strong green candle here on open. And that fulfills the requirements for the breakout strategy, but I'm not taking it because price has been super overextended and I was worried that price may retrace. So this is a breakout strategy right here. Look for entry after 630. This is a 630 candle. Confirm bias. Right here's the bias, obviously bullish. Confirm direction of momentum. It's bullish right here. We have a buy signal. Confirm a strong candle in the direction of momentum right here, strong green candle. And there we go. Price pushes up higher and reaches its full TP. Yeah, so it actually right there, full TP on the breakout. So if you guys caught that, awesome. If you guys didn't, it's okay. I can take it myself, so it's not going to count as an official trade. As I mentioned, for the next couple of weeks, well, since October started, we're going to follow these breakouts to see how they play out. And if they continue to hit, then possibility of us taking them right here. I did mark it up for you guys and it did hit. We'll see how tomorrow plays out. It'll be a little more risky tomorrow because the earnings are coming out, but we'll see. So there you go. Full TP off the breakout. If you guys took it, awesome. If not, just sit tight for the next entry here that is to come. So again, the zones are down here, so it doesn't look like we're going to have any SR ejections anytime soon. So we'll mainly be looking for variations and the high-low quick scalps. All right, so price is still up here. We do have a bullish momentum signal. So what I'm looking for here is I'm looking for price to swing down, provide a low. And if we get that wick for the push back up, I'll be looking to hop in for a quick high-low scalp. So here goes Patrick's profits from that breakout right there. Nice profit right there. Patrick's currently up 2,800 for the day. Nice work, Patrick. I think Patrick might have been the only one that took the breakout. I'm not sure if anyone else took it, but if you did, solid work. And thanks for trusting the entry, right? I mean, I didn't trust it myself. So if you guys trusted it, great. I need to be as conservative as possible, especially on Monday today. Mainly because I'm trying to look out for, you guys. I don't want you guys to be taking anything too risky. Let's see. Talanji said, yeah, he took it and took the double dip, got out early, but he's fine with it. Nice work, Talanji. Yeah, if anyone took the trade there and wants to post their profit, feel free to post them up, and then I'll add them to the list to be posted, later today. So I'm still following it here, looking for another entry. Don't have anything yet, but we'll see what we can get here. All right, so price is still pushing up super heavy. Let's take a look at the fundamentals. They're currently up almost 600 points, 588 right now. So I'm going to update this real quick. So the market is super bullish right now. Might be due for some retracement though. CNBC just reported Dow pops 500 points after roller coaster week for stocks. Earnings season kicks into high gear. Yeah, so with them reporting on it like that, I wouldn't be surprised if price, comes down a bit. Looking over here at the heat map should be all green. Yep. It's as green as ever. So it looks solid. All right, so we just gotta wait for this to, I guess, play out now. So price is still pushing up. No SR rejection entries coming up. Main thing we're looking for a variation. So the main thing we're looking for here is a low, or we need a high here to be established first. Once a high is established, once price comes down, it's going to establish a low at some point, right? For that low, we're looking for a double body or double wick rejection. If not, we're going to be looking for, if that's the case, we're going to be looking for the quick scalp. We might want to be a bit careful though. So if I see a quick scalp, I'm probably not going to take the very first one. I'll probably wait for like the first one to pass because these trades typically come in bunches. So if we miss the first one, it's fine. There's probably going to be another one right after. But the reason why I'd be looking for the second one is because price is way overextended, right? If you measure this from this point to here, price is pushed up 2,270 pips without any retracement. So it's pushed up super high and it's due for retracement. That's why I'm looking for price to come down. And then I want it to actually push up and hit, right? So that the next one, when it does come down again, I can do the same thing and just continually ride it up. So the area for retracement, typically if you see something push up like this, so here's an example right here. Here's where price kind of retraced down a little bit, pushed up. It's about 1,000 pips, but the market is now open. So obviously you're going to double that, maybe 2,000 pips, and price is obviously pushed up at least 2,000 pips. So volatility is good. Spread's super wide though. I don't know what's up with the spread. I just saw the spread on FTMO. It went from 190 to 290 back to 190. When spread goes up, typically that's because volatility is low. It makes it harder to get out. But volatility kind of swung right back up. It stopped for a bit, and then now it's back up. It's kind of weird. I've never seen that 290 during a New York session. I think we had news this morning too. Yeah, so we had news over here at 5:30, Empire State Manufacturing Index. It was negative. So I'll go and mark that up over here as well. 5:30. So it's negative news, but price obviously swung up. No surprise there. Here's the clean chart. As you guys can see from the clean chart, price is obviously very bullish. All right, so price is pushed up right here. The main thing to look out for here to see if price is directional is that price does not come back to open, right? I don't know if price will come back to open because it's such a long drop down. So like where price is currently at, it's it's not too far. It's about 1,880 pips, but it's a steep drop to the opening price. But that's going to be the main thing to look out for. If price does not come down to that area, then price is going to be directional and it'll likely continue pushing up. However, if price comes down to opening price right here. And if it breaks below, then this would probably be a confirmation of reversal. It'll probably retest it and continue dropping from that point, hit all the liquidity right here. So two different scenarios to play out here, but price is still pushing up higher and higher right there. So still waiting for this retracement to come back at least a little bit. As you wait for that, I know someone over here asked for analysis of EU. Let's see if I can just pull it up real quick, because I could probably just see if there's anything here for me to look at. A couple markups here from entry that I saw the other day. EU is obviously bearish right now. Let's see, so EU over here looks like it's currently ranging between this zone and this zone down here. And I'll take a look at this later. I don't want to put too much time on this since we're looking at US30 right now. Yeah, just taking a quick glance at it, looks like the price is attempting to shift back up, but I push up and retest this area. Right there. So as you guys can see right here, I pretty much analyze your USD like within a few seconds. You know, I have all the indicators on right now, turned on the zones to identify where price projection might happen. And this is kind of what I anticipate right here. Price is obviously trying to swing up. The daily is still bearish. Weekly is very bearish, except from the 4-hour right here. Looks like it might range into that area. So anyways, back to US30 over here. I'll post that up in a little bit. All right, so we got a pending sell signal right here. We have a and one thing that you know, Patricia also mentioned to me is that you can probably use a tighter stop loss for these high-low quick scalps. I know we typically use a 1030, but for this we could probably use a 1020 because they happen so quickly. And if it doesn't go your way, it's probably not going to go your way, right? So maybe something to play around with. That's what I've been using. I've been using a smaller TP stop loss or smaller stop loss just to give it at least a 1 to 2. But we'll see. So as I mentioned, I don't know if I'll be taking this first entry right here, guys. There's going to be one possible entry right here because, you know, price might be due for retracement. So I'm not going to take this one here, but I will follow it to see if it plays out, which it looks like it will. Volatility is pretty solid. So right here, that was the entry right there, and it went straight to the profit target right there right after. So this is why you got to be waiting for it and watching for it to hit, because it literally hit as soon as the candle closed. You see the wick right there on the bottom. So if you guys are new here and not familiar with the strategy, the high-low quick scalp, basically we look for a low here. We look for momentum. This is the main thing we're looking for. We look back and see momentum. It's bullish right here, obviously, right? So with momentum being bullish, we're looking for that small retracement. When we see the retracement here and it establishes a low, on the following candle, we wait for it to basically confirm a wick. And you can see right here, price initially came down for a few pips, and then the wick came up right there and it shot right through the TP. This is the strategy that we're currently applying, you know, which we consider a high-low quick scalp. It happens, and you'll probably hit your TP within a couple seconds. Sometimes a little longer, but for the most part, a couple seconds, and it typically always hits. You just got to be really quick with, you know, following it and identifying it. So what you want to do is you want to be focused on looking at these high lows. Once you've identified these high lows, you just want to wait for the next candle. Once the next candle opens, if it provides a wick rejection, you know, just quick entry for a buy there, and then you can hop in and get out really quickly. You have to get out quickly though, because for something like this, if you would have just held on to it, you would have been, stopped out. So you got to get in, hit your profit target, pull out, and then be done with it. If you guys need help with that, the tool that we use, the tool that I use is the FTMO Quick Trade Manager, because I use FTMO as my main account, but you can also use the Def to Market tool as well. I mean, they both work. The thing here that makes these entries a little iffy is when they have a sell signal here, because you want to be very careful and not take any trades that have a sell signal, because that's going to shift the momentum to the opposite side. So right here, even though we do have a wick rejection right there, momentum is now for a sell. So you're no longer looking for a buy anymore, right? So now you're looking for a high to establish. Once a high establishes, you'll be looking for a sell. But with the way that the market's moving, I don't know if I'll be looking for a sell here, because everything is so strong for a buy. I don't want to go up, against a very strong bias right here. Everything is pretty much pointing towards a buy, aside from retail sentiment, but that can easily shift at some point. See, like right now, it's at 55% long. You want to be very careful taking trades like that, because a lot of the people who are on the opposite side just got stopped out, or they just pulled out because they made their profit for the day already. So we'll see. Target price point is going to be the opening price, as I mentioned right here. This is going to confirm that price is not moving directional. However, if it doesn't, then price will likely continue to swing up and push up higher from this point. So some more profit right here from Patrick. Patrick here is now currently up 3,920. He took that high-low quick scalp. Another profit right there for 1,120. Great work, Patrick. Yeah, Patrick said, yep, definitely more inclined to take high-low quick scalp off the fundamentals versus retail sentiment. It's a more short-term. Yeah, exactly. And I agree with you, Patrick, 100%. So pretty much everything over here is indicating to take a buy, right? Fundamentals, short-term trend, long-term trend. So that's why I'm looking for price to possibly, swing back up. Not really looking for any sells here. If I do see sells, I will mark it up and I'll show you guys, but I'm not really looking to take them at the moment. There's no V1 right here. So if you guys are wondering if this is a V1, this is not, because the double body has to be on the same level. Green candle next to it is a bit off. So let's see what we got over here. So what we're looking for now is we're looking for that buy signal. That buy signal is going to indicate that it's okay to take buys. Right now we have a sell signal. So momentum is now for a sell, but we are looking for it to swing back up, which will probably happen eventually. It's just going to be a matter of time. So price makes its way back up. It spreads at 180 right now, so it's pretty good. Anything below 190 is solid. So yeah, volatility is still up pretty high. There we go. Price pushes back up. The one thing that we want to look out for as well is that whether price is going into a range, because you definitely don't want to take trades like this if you are going into a into a range. All right. So we got a high over here starting to plot out. This will probably be an entry for a sell. I'm not looking to take this though, so I'll mark it up for you guys, but I'm not going to take it, right? Just FYI. Just want to give you guys a heads up that I'm not going to take this here because obvious reasons. Price is very strong for a bullish bias, so. But I'll mark it up to show you guys. So this candle is going to close in about 10 seconds. When the candle closes, we're looking for a wick rejection off the, well, not really wick rejection, but just a wick in general off the next candle. And that's where the entry would be placed. Unless we get a buy signal there. Okay, so never mind, no sell. So now we have a buy signal. We're looking for a low to be established. Once a low is established, we can look for a buy here. So better for us. Here goes, price comes right back down. I want this high to be established though. So I need this to actually close. so that once this closes, we can have a low next. Because we can't have a low unless the high gets established before. As you guys can see here, the high lows go from high, low, high, low, high, low, right? We can't have low, low or high, high. It's got to be high, low. So I want this here to close, and then I want price to come down a little bit, provide a low, and then continuation back to the upside. There's no SR scalps right here. There's no V1 variations. Main thing we're looking for here is going to be the high, low, quick scalp. All right, perfect. So we want that to close a little higher. Now we need it to drop a little bit, provide a low here. Once that happens, we can start looking for entries. All right. So just keep an eye out for that low. Looks like price is going into a range right here. Or it's starting to squeeze. Price broke below that point. There goes a low. Okay, so this is starting to be a little tricky. As you guys can see, a lot of these momentum signals are coming up right after each other. So I'm probably going to hold off right now for this buy here. I was looking to take the possible buy here, but since there's a sell signal right here, this is something that you also want to need to keep an eye out. It's not something that happens too often, but when you start to get these multiple momentum signals, so this would technically be the entry right here. At that point, once you get these multiple buy and sell signals, you can see that there's no direction, right? Because if you look over here, like these signals will come up every 10, 20 minutes or so. Like you'll get this come up here and you have a bunch of entries. But when you have a lot of signals come up right after each other like this right here, like there's 3 signals within, a 5-minute time frame. This is going to indicate that price isn't really moving directional. So just a reminder, the variations and the high-low quick scalps are directional strategies, right? When the market starts moving like this is where you have to default to the SR rejection entries. So there's no zones here right now, but eventually zones are going to plot up here because price is moving very direct. It's moving ranging. So it's moving in a consolidation phase. If you guys have seen how market moves, I mean, you guys have seen pretty much, it happens every time, right? There's basically 2 different things that can happen in the market. Price will either consolidate, that's when you use the SR rejection strategy, or if price is moving directional, you're using the variation or the high-low quick scalp. As you guys can see right here, you can see how the momentum signals came up like right after each other. This is a consolidation phase. Again, right here, price was providing momentum signals, but they weren't right next to each other. There's like one here and then one right here. This was a directional push. So back to current price over here, we want to wait for these kind of spread out a bit. So no entry at the moment. This right here again would have been a buy and it would have hit its TP, but not a good area to be trading this. So we have low here. We have this candle with a wick. So this right here would have been a full TP, but not looking to take it just yet. Kind of want price to move away from where it's currently at. So just give it some time. Let me go and push this a little lower. So you can see a little better here on the clean chart where the range is being somewhat established. Right there. All right, so we'll see where this goes. Yeah, it's just gonna be a matter of time here until this pushes away. So as you guys can see here, it's attempting to provide a sell signal, and as it does that, it's inching closer and closer to opening price. As I mentioned earlier, this is going to be the target price point. So this is going to confirm whether price is moving directional or whether it's still, ranging and consolidating for the day. So looking over here on the clean chart, let me just clean this up a little bit. Move this a little lower. You guys can see right here that price was initially bullish, right? So it pushed up super high. And now it is coming, right back down. As price comes back down to this area right here, there's going to be a crossroads, right? At some point, a scenario is going to come up whether price is going to keep dropping lower or whether it's going to correct back up. So whenever you guys analyze, any asset, really, you want to come up with at least two scenarios. Anything more than that is going to be a little too much. But if you can block it down in two different scenarios, that's going to give you a heads up as to where price is likely to go. So the main thing to look for here is just what you got to be patient and wait to determine whether price is going to come down to this point or whether it's going to stop dropping and, swing right back up. So yeah, two different possibilities here and, basically two things to focus on. And you can see price starting to drop even more. If that's the case, then that's completely fine. Price will likely come down to the opening price right here. So now that we have this kind of in mind, if price does push up a little bit and provide a high here, then I would be okay with taking a high-low quick scalp in this direction because I'm expecting it to come down and hit the opening price, right? So initially, I wasn't looking for any sells, but now that price is starting to come down a little heavier, sells are looking a little more acceptable. All right, so obviously if price comes back down at this point, it's going to confirm that we're not having any directional market today. It's going to be a possible huge consolidation because this right here pushed up about 2,420 pips, and then it dropped right back down from this point, almost 2,000 pips already within a short period. Let's look at the 10. 10 is currently bullish still, 15 is bullish, 30-minute bullish, 1 hour bullish, 2 hour still bullish. So the overall, the short-term bias is still bullish. Looking over here at sentiment, sentiment is currently 50. Fresh again. All right, so sentiment's not currently loading right now. Looks like it's still updating. Fundamentals are still pretty high. Still up 500 points. So we'll see where this takes us. So right now, since we have a low here established, we're looking for a price to come up, provide a high, and then quick high-low scalp below. There's no variations right now. There's no SR rejections because the SR zones are way down here. So just gotta focus and wait for this to provide possible entry. So since our target price is down here, that'd be fine if price does retrace up a little bit. It's just more lows being established. All right, there's a possible V1 right here, but it does look a bit risky because, as I mentioned, we're still at that area where price could go either way. So I'd probably hold off on the variation if it does come up. No more variation. This right here established another low. So no variation off that there. Personally, just want this low to establish. So like once we start having this low here, we can look for a buy. Yeah, exactly. Patrick said the trend meter is starting to tease blue. So you can see the trend meter down here is starting to shift. So this right here would be a V1, but I didn't take it. Obviously right there would have been a full TP. It's just, there's a lot of different scenarios that can play out here. As I mentioned, there's one looking like price will come down. There's one looking like price will go up. or there's one indicating that price may just go sideways. So I think that's the worst. When you have three scenarios there where price looks like it can go either way, up, down, or sideways, it's not a good look. You typically want it to have, you know, a bias in one direction where price looks like it'll continue pushing, or the opposite. So this candle has about 20 seconds left on it. There's a high right here. This may be a possible entry for a high-low quick scalp. So when this candle closes in the next 10 seconds, look for the next candle to see if it provides a wick. Once it provides a wick, you can enter a sell. So typically I just have my finger on the sell button ready and waiting. So I'll see where it's at. All right, so I entered this for a sell right here. I think it already hit TP. Let me see. It's almost there. Yeah, it already hit TP. It's up to the spread right now. Spread's 190. And this thing is like super far. All right, I had to manually exit it, guys. The spread's like kind of all over the place. I mean, it would have blasted right through, but still. So it blasted literally right through it. There goes the entry for the sell there. If you guys took it, you know, obviously full TP. But I had to manually close it because it kept like trading, it kept turning green like it was going to close out. And it was like really close to the TP and it kept bouncing around. So I just pulled out manually. But yeah, there you go, guys. Full TP off off the high-low quick scalp right there. So hopefully it's making sense to you guys. If it's still not making sense, you know, you just have to practice it. It doesn't happen like, nice, Maddie just passed his MFF challenge. Congrats, Maddie. Easy money, bro. His FTMO is almost done. Solid. So let's give the update right here. If you guys took it, great. If not, it's okay. Let's wait for the next one. These entries will keep coming up. I mean, this is like one of the strategies that comes up super often. But the thing that you guys have to keep in mind is that if it hits TP, you got to pull out. Sometimes the spread's going to be kind of wacky and it'll hold you in the trade. So you just got to make sure to get out of that trade ASAP when you have the opportunity. So quick profit off that right there. Let's see if we could follow and hit another one here. So there's still no SR scalps. The zones are down here. The V1 variations are not coming up. There's no double body right there. Let's see, Patrick said, I actually watched for the entry setup on TradingView, but watch for the wick on MC4. Yeah, I was doing that for a while too, Patrick, but I noticed that sometimes the candles aren't the same. So I'm still debating between the two as well. So I mean, yours is actually a more accurate way of identifying it. I just feel like TradingView does lag a little bit with the wick, but I feel like the lag is a better confirmation because I've seen one time before where there was no wick on TradingView, but then I looked at MC4 and there was a wick, but then it lost. So I mean, well, it'll all come with time, right? We're still testing this out. So I guess you can keep looking at that and I'll keep looking at this. If yours plays differently, we'll just see what the outcome is. But it should work. I mean, for the most part, it should work as long as you're trading during New York session. If you do that during Asia, it's going to be totally different. So just keep that in mind because I've seen Asia session candles. They look way different compared to TradingView, compared like during New York session versus Asia, because Asia volatility is so low. So if you get those blocky movements, it's going to look way different. But for New York, it's typically the same because it only takes a small movement for a wick to produce. Yeah, Rashida said the wick was so small, she was scared, but she's catching the next one. Yeah, I know it was super small, Rashida. It happened like immediately after open. So it's all good. I was a bit worried about it too, but I just hopped in without really thinking. And then luckily it blasted right through the TP. Yeah, Patrick said, yeah, he tried trading Asia for a bit, doesn't like it. Yeah, the volatility is just too low during Asia where you can't take these types of trades. The SR rejections still work fine because that's the strategy I use during Asia, but this high-low quick scalp doesn't work very well because the volatility is just too low and the spreads are too wide. All right, so we might have another one coming right here. I still haven't decided if I want to keep it at 1020 or switch back to 1030. We have a possible entry right here again. This is starting to be a little more risky though, because the market is moving a little more directional. I mean, it's moving more sideways, but we'll see when this candle here closes. So we're looking for a wick. Again, right there, small wick. At that point, let's see, I couldn't get into this one though. Let's see if I get in late. Yeah, I got into this one. All right, so I didn't get in immediately, guys, but when price came back down, because I tried to click on my MC4 and it didn't click. I didn't want to double click it because I didn't want two entries, but once I waited, it filled it. So I don't know if you guys have been having that issues or that issue, but there's been a couple issues where like you'll click on MC4 and it won't enter. I don't recommend double clicking or triple clicking because it'll enter you into like 2 or 3 trades. It might be my computer because I haven't turned off my computer in a couple of days or a couple of weeks actually. I'm gonna have to just restart MC4, but I did take that. It finally hit and then full TP off that right there. So another full TP right there. And you guys can see that these moves happen super quickly. All right, so I'll post up my profits right now. I don't know how well Hanko Trade's doing, guys, because I've been looking at it and there's been like a lot of slippage. Not what I was really hoping for, but here, I'll take a screenshot of all my profits so far to show you guys. I did have a loss last night during Asia, so you're going to see the profits aren't necessarily as high. I just had one loss because it was an accident. I forgot the spread was so wide and my TP stop loss was too close, and then it ended up gave me a loss or whatever. I mean, it is what it is, but just want to give you guys a heads up if you guys are wondering why my profits look like that. And that's just me being transparent with you guys too, because I don't want you guys to think that, I'm only focused on like wins. I do lose sometimes. And most of the time it's my mistake when it happens. So here, I'm going to post this up and you guys will see that there's, quite a bit of slippage across all my accounts. Screenshot this right there. It's so blurry. Whatever, I'll just post it up like this. All right, so Maddie's asking if I'm doing 1020. Yeah, so I'm doing 1020 for these, but I'm looking at the chart, Maddie, and it looks like it's too close because it gets really close to my stop loss. So I don't know if I'm going to keep doing 1020. I'll keep doing it and I'll see how it plays out because the volatility is a lot higher. But I have been noticing that, like when I enter the trade, due to the spread, I'm like halfway to stop loss already. So I've been doing 1020, but I might have to switch back to 1030. We'll see. I know Patricia's been doing it and it's been working well for her. So I might just keep using it for a while until, I start to want to change it back a bit. Nice. Jamie got it too. John says his MT5 won't connect for some reason. Yeah, not sure if anyone's having issues with MT5. I don't use MT5, so I'm not sure, but my MT4 is lagging a little bit. Typically because the volatility is high. Usually when volatility is really high, MT4 does lag a bit. I'm not sure about MT5 though, not working. So here are my profits so far. As you can see, this is my main FTMO account locked in 860, my second FTMO 860, my Hanko, it's down 120. I don't know what happened with that one. My MFF number 1 made 360. I had a loss yesterday, so I was basically playing cash up and I'm back in profit. Here's my second MFF 1110. 1110, and then my TFF, or sorry, my MFF number 3, 1640, and then my TFF 1909. So solid profit right there. We don't have any entries right now, so I'll just go ahead and take some screenshots of my actual accounts. So this is my main FTMO. And you guys will see, I typically don't like showing my Asia session profits, but I'll just show you here just to show you guys that, to give you a heads up that, you probably shouldn't be trading during Asia. I typically only take like 1 or 2 trades during Asia, and I took like, I think 2 or 3. And the first one was an accident. I literally took that on market open. You'll see the timestamp, and the spread was like 400 pips. So as soon as I entered, it just went straight to stop loss, but the trade did hit TP. It was just my stop loss was too close. It was my bad for getting caught in that. All of my MFFs are different, of course. Yeah, you guys will see that all my profits are a little different. I don't know what happened with my MFF, but like for some reason, not all the trades. Actually, there was one account that didn't have any loss. That's why. Because my third MFF wouldn't connect to my copier. Thankfully, I have all wins on that one. All right, and then Hanko. Okay, I see. You'll see on my personal account there's some slippage. Not a lot, but it looks like a mess. So, all right, let me post my profits real quick. I got so many accounts now. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right, so I got 7 accounts now. Anyways, here are the screenshots of my profits. So here's my main account. You can see my loss here from last night. This was my mistake. Market literally opened at 3 o'clock. I entered the trade. Spread was like 400 something, and it went straight to my stop loss. Like literally went up like a pip into drawdown, and it stopped me off. However, this trade did hit full TP. So the problem with this here is I entered at a really, really bad time. Spread was too wide, and my stop loss was just way too tight. So this here actually would have hit. This should have been a win. Here's a couple other trades from last night. You can see these little profits. I try to make this one back up, and then these are from this morning. So I had to close this one out early. It was 1,000 in profit, but I had to close at 310 because the market was just moving kind of funny. And this is the one we just took. So my main FTMO account locked in the total profit of 860. My FTMO copier 860 as well. My TFF account, you can see I have no losses here. Total profit of 1,909. My MFF number 1, 360 right here. Same loss from the FTMO. The spread was just too wide. My second MFF 1,110, and then my third MFF 1,640 in profit. My Hanko trade account right here, you can see that this, I don't know what happened here. The profits are like all over the place for whatever reason. This was the accidental trade. It copied to this account, and there was some slippage, so it lost more than it should have. And then these over here, I don't know what happened, why these were so small, but I'll probably have to make some changes with my lot sizing. I think the lot size might be a little too small. Anyways, those are my profits right there. I'm going to go and give a little description here. Great profit live today. Profits. Today is we officially kick off trading week. All right, so let me just copy this over real quick. I'll look over everyone's profits. If you guys have profits to post up, feel free to post them up. And I'm still looking for trades, so don't worry. I'm not ignoring the charts. I'm still looking at the screen right here. We currently have price pushing up, so I'm looking for a low to establish. Once we have that low there, we can take another high-low scalp, high-low quick scalp, or I mean, even possible variation. Nice. So John fixed it. He just had to restart his phone. Ross said the spread on Henko is huge. They charge a big commission, so it takes a lot of pips. Gosh, okay, good to know, Ross. I didn't know that initially. I thought Henko trade was fine, but I'm starting to run into some issues with them. It's hard to find a broker that's okay with scalping because a lot of brokers don't like scalping. The problem is like their computers aren't fast enough to execute as fast as you're doing it real time. So they kind of get screwed sometimes. That's why they have a wide spread, or they increase their execution time. So I agree with you, Ross. Ross mentioned that the spread on Henko is huge and they charge a big commission. So yeah, exactly. Ross said he's looking for one too. I mean, the main thing you guys could use would be something like TradeStation, but the thing with the TradeStation is that it's not on MT4, it's on TradingView. So you can trade directly on TradingView, but you're not going to be able to copy your trades. That's why I can't use them, and I haven't been using a personal account lately, or for a while actually. It's been like maybe a year or so since I like seriously used a personal account. I just started using one recently because it was just for fun, right? It's just another account to have since I have like 7 accounts now, including my personal, 3 MFF, 2 FTMO, and 1 TFF. So, I mean, we'll see. But yeah, there's no entries right now. Looking at everyone's profit so far, so let me scroll over here real quick, or let me just copy this over. And then I'll look over everyone's profits over here as well. All right, so looking at everyone's profits so far, let me scroll up real quick. So Maria over here posted her profit. She locked in a total profit of 444 for the day. Nice work, Maria. Yeah, she said improving her bad habits. So definitely great work there. She had a loss right there, but she made it right back on these following trades. So solid work right there. Let's see if I could send that over real quick. So I'm still looking for an entry here, guys. If we get a low established here, then we can take a buy here for a high-low quick scalp. But we do not have that low established just yet. Let me go down a little further. Right here. Cameron sent his profits, locked in a total profit of 5,040 for the day. Nice work, Cameron. Solid wins right there. Nice recovery off that loss. So great profit right there from Cameron, 5,040 for the day. Maddie over here as well. Nice. Maddie just passed this challenge right here. I think this is MFF. So great work, Maddie. Yeah, it's nice to see a lot of people here passing their challenges again. It's been a while because a lot of people got funded already and they're just, trading normally. But it's always exciting to see somebody pass their challenge. So yeah, Maddie said his FTMO is a couple thousand away. Yeah, take it easy, Maddie. Don't rush it. It's like, a couple wins right there. Here's Narith right here. Narith locked in a total profit of 3,860. Nice work, Narith. Looks like you caught that for 360 pips. Nice push to the upside. So if you guys are not familiar, Narith is Cameron's dad. So Cameron's dad over here locked in 3,860. And then Narith's son, Cameron, over here locked in 5,040. So solid work right there, guys. Deswell said, hey, Sean, I have a question about the copy you're using later. So yeah, if you want to ask Deswell, I mean, you're more than welcome to ask. And I'll try to help you as much as I can. All right, so we got a zone that's come up right here, guys. It's still far from current price, so I'm not really expecting price to come down and retest it yet, but setting up for a possible SR rejection scalp as price gets near. So here we are here. There's not really too much going on. Here goes price bounces around. So there's no low established. With no low, there is no possible entries for any variations, high low quick scalps, or SR rejections. Let's see a question from Deswell. Deswell said, let's say I test a bot on an account, can the trades be copied from the account? Yeah, so Deswell is just asking if he sets up a bot on his on the copier, if that can copy the trades. Yeah, so that's exactly what I'm doing, except I'm the bot. So whatever trades I take, my copiers will take them. So it's the same thing. It's just, you know, you connect your bot as the main account. However, I don't really recommend that. I mean, you can try it, Ezel, but I don't recommend it because, you know, the moment your bot screws up, all your accounts are blown. So that's why I wouldn't necessarily put a bot for a copier, especially if they're taking trades that happen within like milliseconds, right? You guys have seen bots sometimes. They take, if it's an intraday bot or a swing bot, then yeah, okay, but not a scalping bot. Because the scalping bots will take trades within milliseconds. They're faster than humans, obviously, they're faster than me. And you can get caught in a lot of malfunctions. I've seen it happen to people before. You guys have probably seen a lot of those people online who are like, who do account management, right? All they do is they have a bot and it copies out to like other people's accounts. And I've seen a lot of those bots kind of screw up because people don't know how to manage the bots or engineer them. And it ends up blowing everybody's account. So just, you know, just something to keep in mind. Unless you create the bot, then yeah. But if you're using a bot that everybody else is using, probably not the best idea. Thanks to John. Yeah, new zone posted right there. B's asking, did you explain what the high-low scalp is somewhere? If you watch the past mentoring, or not mentoring sessions, past live sessions, we've been going over for the past, I think, 2 or 3 sessions, B. It's going to be explained more in detail during the mentoring session today. So if you want to attend the mentoring session, that's your best option to really understand it. But I've been covering it for the past couple of days. Not recently, obviously it was a weekend, but Friday, Thursday, and Wednesday, I think we started looking at it. So if you want to watch the B said, so it's another strategy other than the rejection scalp. Yeah, no, it's a totally different strategy. It's basically something that like, it's something similar to like what Kevin was applying before, or what I assume Kevin was applying before. And you guys have seen Kevin's profits. It's a quicker scalp move, but it's meant for directional markets. So that's something that you got to keep in mind as well. It's kind of similar to a variation, but it's a quicker move to it. So for variation, basically all the strategies, we're looking for a candle to close, right? For the high-low quick scalp, we're not waiting for any closure. We're just looking for a wick rejection or just a wick in general. But yeah, it's a totally different strategy. So there's 3 main strategies that we're applying. We're applying the variation continuation, SR scalp, and this new one, which is a high-low scalp. It's basically a variation, but it's just quicker. It's kind of similar to, it's a variation continuation, but it's just a lot quicker. You're not waiting for a candle to close. Let's see where we're at. So right now we have a sell signal. So we're looking for a sell for that strategy. B, if I see one here, I'll show you it so that you can see an example real time. We'll have to wait for it to actually come. So we're looking for a high here to establish, or not establish, but just for it to come up. So right now we have a sell signal. So we're only looking for sells. If you have a sell signal, you're looking for highs. If you have a buy signal, you're looking for lows. And you're looking to take a buy. So you're just trading in the direction of momentum. So right here you have a buy signal, you're looking for buys. Vice versa, over here you have a sell signal, now you're looking for sells. There's nothing really else to look at right now. Just gotta follow this here. All right, so it's 7:25 right now. I don't think we have any news this morning, do we? No. Federal budget Budget balance is tentative. Let me look at my FX book. Yeah, so there's no news right now. Just gotta wait for something to come up here. All right, so again, price is attempting to make its way back down to the opening price. Just an FYI, price is still moving directional. So right here, it might look like price is, moving in a range, but price has not come back down to opening price yet. It got close to it right here, but it didn't come down and touch it. So as you can see, price did push up, came down for retracement, possible continuation, but the continuation actually didn't play out. It's coming right back down. So it's like in a mid-range right now. It just hasn't, obviously it just hasn't confirmed yet whether it's, in range or it's going to continue pushing up. It's in a small range right here, though. It's only been a range for about, it's been ranging for about like 16 minutes. So that's why you don't really want to consider it in a range yet, because this can easily just break through and come below. So as I was mentioning, we have a sell signal here, so we're looking for a high. New lows just keep getting established below here, but there's no new high yet. Trend meter is also turning red. So let's take a look at the other time frames. 10 minutes still bullish, 15 is bullish, 30 is bullish, 60 is also bullish, and the 4 hour is bullish as well. So it looks pretty solid right here. Just got to give it time. Volatility is dying down pretty heavy. Spread's still okay though. Spread's at 180, so it's not too bad. But the volatility is kind of low. It's not really moving anymore. And just copy this over. I'm gonna send this to the guy in the group. Back to US30. All right, where did that guy post that? Right here. All right, so basically Vision over here was asking, hi, does anyone have any analysis for EU or tell him what her predictions are? I basically told him that the long-term bias for EU is a sell on the daily and weekly chart. As you can see over here on Euro USD, it's pretty simple. I mean, you just go on the 4 hour. I take all my trades off 4 hour for your Forex. You go on the 4 hour here, you can see that price is attempting to retrace. You go on the higher time frame, the daily, it's pretty bearish. It's just retracing. Looking over here on the weekly as well, it's also very bearish. You can see price has been dumping for quite some time. So with that said, I did tell him here that, long-term bias for EU is a sell on the daily and weekly chart. It looks like prices are tracing slightly, which is what I marked up here. It's tracing up to the zone right here, which it might bounce off and then come back and see here where it'll just range before coming back down. So just a quick FYI, if you guys are wondering, about that analysis in the chat. So if you guys do have anything that you want me to analyze or cover, I mean, I can analyze it for you guys. Just because I trade US30 here that doesn't mean that I can't analyze anything else. The same structure and breakdown that I use for US30, you can use it for basically any asset. So basically what I'm teaching you guys here, even though we're only trading US30, you can still apply this on everything else. The knowledge works for everything. It's not just one type of asset. It's just that we trade US30 because it just doesn't make sense for me to sit on the chart for like hours and hours and hours to make like the same amount I'd make here in a couple minutes. So US30 is good if you know what you're doing. If you don't know what you're doing, then yeah, you're gonna lose a lot of money trading US30. But yeah, if you guys just focus on the three main strategies, variation V1 with a continuation, SR rejection, and right now the high-low quick scalp. That's all you guys really need because these three strategies work all year round. So just a heads up if you guys are wondering, what you should focus on. All right, so price is coming down right here. Again, our target price point is going to be the opening price right there. Let's see. Hey, Brock, how's it going? Good morning. Good to see you here. All right, we have another zone right here. So now that the zones are starting to come up, you guys can see that price is kind of confirming that price is in a range right now, right? So now we got two zones right here. So you can see that this is a range where price is pushing. Price came down, bounced off this point, came back up here, bounced off this point. And there goes, price continues to, move along. So price is currently in a range and it's consolidating right now. It hasn't confirmed that it's actually going to reverse. So that's why we're looking for price to come down and reach opening price right here, because this is going to be the threshold. When price reaches this point, one of two things will happen. Price will either bounce off it and correct back up, or it's going to break below and continue dropping and knocking out all of this liquidity right here. Because there's a ton of liquidity right here on the bottom, right? So this might happen today, it might happen tomorrow. I mean, who knows? Earnings is coming out tomorrow though, so it might not hit it just yet. But this is definitely something to focus on. We still don't have a high here. So as I mentioned earlier, guys, we have a sell signal right here. So we're looking for price to provide a high. Once it provides a high, then we can look for possible entry. We just do not have that here yet. All right, so we have a high right here. Possible entry for a sell. This candle here is super big. I'm gonna hold off on it right now. So I'm just like, what I'm doing is I'm looking for these little hints here, like when to avoid trades, right? Because we're still working on the strategy here. One thing that I started to notice a lot is if the candle is like way too big, like this right here, it's probably not gonna be a good time to make an entry. So I mean, possibly, if you take the entry here, I'll just follow it, but I'm not gonna take it. And obviously right there, you can see it does hit its full TP. So it does work. It's just I'm looking for things to be cautious about. So there might be another entry right here off the next one. Just got to make sure it doesn't close with the sell signal, with the buy signal. So if it doesn't close with the buy signal, you can look for the wick on the next candle here. Again, this candle here is too big. So I'm probably going to sit on it. Yeah, Maddie said pending signal, I would sit. Same here, Maddie. It's just the volatility is starting to pick up a lot. And if the stop loss is too tight, it's easy to get hit. So I'm going to sit out on this one here. I'll follow it. Yeah, that would have been, this one would have been a nice entry. This one that we missed out on right here, but it's all good. So this is another thing that you want to be careful for too, when there's too many high lows. So earlier I was talking about how there's too many momentum signals. Again, right here, if there's too many high lows, you shouldn't be taking trades around these types of areas either, because you typically want the high and low to be spread out. So high, low, a bunch of entries you can take in between high, low, high, low. But when there's a high low after every candle, this is where you want to be a bit more cautious, because you can see right here, price was pushing up and then it came back down. And now at this point, there's like 3 high lows within a 5-minute radius. So that might be another requirement I have to put up there. Look out for momentum signals and high lows that keep establishing within a 5-minute radius, I guess 5 or 10-minute radius. Yeah, so I'm gonna also identify this as a V1 body right here. So there's a V1 continuation. However, this right here, the candle will be too big, so we have to skip it. So yeah, you're right. My dude did identify this as a V1, but since the candle's too big, we would have had to skip it. It would be considered a red flag. All right, their candle prior to entry is too large. All right, so we got to sit down, sit tight for a little bit right here. Price is in a range, so since it is in a range, this isn't the best time to be taking these types of entries, right? When price is ranging, the best entry to take is going to be the SR rejection, but we don't have any SR rejections right now. So this is fine. If price starts to push up higher, then that's completely fine. We'll start looking for some buys here. We just want this to push away a little bit. So we just had a low here. I want this to push up slightly, maybe up to here, provide retracement, have the low established, and then from there push up higher. So yeah, I mean, just keep in mind that this strategy, this high-low quick scalp is a work in progress, guys. I literally just came up with this like last Wednesday. It's a small change to the variation. It's basically a V1, it's just a faster entry. So there wasn't really too much work to be done there. It's just a small little change to the initial strategy that we were using for these directional moves. So I need price to push up slightly, and then when it retraces, I'm going to be okay with catching this up for a higher push. All right, so we got the high right there. Looking for this to push around a little bit. Again, as you guys can see, the high lows are coming up too quickly, right? So we have a bunch of high lows right here. You just count from the candle. So we have one right here, 1, 2, another high, 1, a low, 1, 2, a high. We want to make sure that these aren't coming up too quickly. So I'm hoping like a couple candles pass and it doesn't establish a low, because if it does that, it's going to confirm that direction is going to be pushing, continuing higher. It's just basic price action. So, a lot of people talk about price action. Price action is really just reading the candles and identifying, what these hints are giving you. So that's my hint right there. My hint is that when price gives you too many high lows, it's going to help you identify that this is probably not a good time to trade because price is moving sideways. This strategy is not a sideways strategy. It's a directional strategy. So when you have these kind of spread out a bit like this, where we have a high, low, high, this is fine because after this one, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 candles. And then again, right here, 1, 2, which is fine because you have this one spread out away from this one. However, these over here, you have 1 candle, 1 candle, 1 candle, 3 candles, 2 candles. This is way too close. So if we can spread out a little more here, we have about like 3 to 5 candles and we'll be okay. Because that'll confirm that price is moving in a direction rather than just moving sideways. Let me clean this up over here real quick. All right, so the range here just got adjusted slightly. Not a lot, but slightly. Price is kind of pushed from here to here. About 12 minutes. All right, so there's a pending sell signal here again. If this closes, this could be a possible entry, but you got to keep an eye out for the signal right here. So let's see what we got here. We got about 10 seconds left on here. So if you get a wick on the next candle, possible entry for a buy. About 10 seconds left. Let's see. The wick is actually down here a bit, so I'll probably hold off on this for now. Let's see, I'm looking for it to come back up. This is a possible entry right here for the buy. Looks like MT4 is kind of, or my trading views frozen. Let me see if I can get in right here. What's going on with this? And my MT4 is lagging. I had to close out of it. So I took this trade right here, guys. My MT4 is lagging really bad. Not sure if anyone's is lagging too, but I waited for a little bit for it to come down. I mean, you could have entered it at any point here, but I entered it right there and it hit. But I had to close mine manually because it was just lagging. So the trade here did play out. It doesn't matter where you entered from. You could have entered from down here. You could have entered from up here. Because the wick provided at any point here. So you could enter from down here, up here, anywhere from this point. It would have hit your TP. You just wouldn't have entered like way up here, right? Because if you entered up here, that's like way too late. Although it still would have hit your TP. So if you guys took it, great. Let me see if my thing here is updated. I don't know what's up with my Henko trade, guys. For some reason, it's giving me like $1 profit. I'm still negative on my Henko for whatever reason. But let me just give you guys an update in the chat real quick. So as you guys can see, the movement for that specific strategy is super quick. You have to be focused on the chart and you have to be really patient and make sure that you don't double click it. I almost double clicked it to make a double entry. And then I ended up just pulling out early because of the, I don't know what's going on with my thing, but kind of lagged a bit. So let me just take a screenshot again of all my profits real quick. Show you guys what I locked in. All right, solid. Let me just take this over here real quick. Nice. Yeah, Maddie said he likes the strategy. Yeah, me too. It's super lucrative and it happens super quickly. Problem vision. All right, so there's my quick profit right there so far. I'll take profits, another screenshot of my profits real quick. I'm still looking for entries here, so don't worry, guys. It's not like I'm done trading. I'm just looking for anything else here. So that's one trade right there, and then we'll follow in to see what happens next. Let's see, iPhone said jumped in late today, Sean. Are you using the 20 stop loss with the new strategy? Yeah, I'm currently using it right now, but I'm kind of tempted to go back to the 30 because every time I enter a trade, it looks like it's about to hit stop loss because the spread is kind of wide. So as soon as I enter, I'm like halfway to stop loss already, which is maybe I just got to work on my trade psychology with that because I'm just always worried it's going to hit it before it pushes up. Yeah, Maddie said he thinks 1030 is probably best, maybe 1025. Yeah, I think 1020 might be a little too tight. So, I mean, we'll see. I'll keep trying it out. But right now, yes, I am currently using a 200 pip stop loss. But I do see it to be a little too close. So I'll give you guys an update for like whatever I'm using. But right now, I'm using a 1020. It works pretty fine. It's a 1 to 2 risk reward. So it kind of limits your risk a lot better. As long as you look for these like really solid entries, you should have no problem, right? Because you're expecting to go straight to TP, and it usually hits TP within like less than a minute. So, short answer to your question is yes, I'm still using the 1020 right now. But if I end up going back to the 1030, I'll let you guys know, because obviously I want you guys to have as much accuracy as I do. So, profit. All right, not bad. So let's see the other profits here. So let's see, Al posted his profits right here. Clock in a total profit of 2,295. Nice work, Al. Yeah, 2,295. There's another possible entry right here, but there's a pending sell signal. The candle's kind of big, so I'm probably going to skip this one here. Let's see. Yeah, I'm gonna skip it for right now because it's just kind of moving around a little crazy. So I'll just hold off on this one. I'm not taking this one right here, guys. I'll follow it, but I'm not taking the trade right here. I got to figure out a way to identify, when these candles are like considered risky. Because I could tell when the candles are really big, but something like this here, I don't know, maybe if we see a pending signal like that, maybe it's a sign to skip it, because that's something that Maddie has been kind of chiming in on. So like earlier today, we had another entry that we saw over here, and we skipped it because it had pending sell signal, right? It had the sell signal that kept appearing and disappearing. Again, right here, we have a sell signal that's appearing and disappearing. And it makes the trade a little bit risky. Looks like it's probably going to hit TP, but it does seem a little risky when it does come up. So I'm still following it. I'm not in this position here, guys. We're just following it, testing this stuff out as we work out the kinks for this specific strategy here. So this is like a strategy, an entry that you typically don't want to be in, because this has been running for at least a couple of minutes, right? Usually this will hit your TP within like seconds, if not less than a minute. But this has been running for 2 minutes now. It shouldn't be ranging like this to hit 100 pips, right? 100 pips is such a quick move where it should be happening per candle, because each candle is at least, 100 pips. So it looks like it's pushing up right here. I'll just set an alert to alert me when it does hit, which it looks like it's going to right now. Yeah, this is very unusual for it not to hit its TP yet, because typically it would hit TP by now. Might just blast right through it. Yeah, this thing's been pushing around for a while. I haven't seen it where it's been moving like this for this long without hitting. Looks like it's about to right here, or not. Still not yet. Yeah, I don't know if anyone's ever run into a position like this where it's been like kind of going back and forth for this long. I think a minute's usually the longest I've seen it. Anyways, I'll let that run. I already set an alert. Let's just take a look at everyone else's profits. So yeah, I marked up Al over here, locked in 2,295. Looking over here at Barack. Barack said, good start, hoping for better. Yeah, definitely Barack. So Barack is currently up 586 for the day. So nice work right there, Barack. And I think that's it for right now. Let me take a screenshot of my profits as we continue along. Let's see. Yeah, Patrick said he wouldn't have taken that one with the red trend meter. Yeah, that's something that I also have to look into as well. I need to figure out if we're going to skip trades or we're going to incorporate the trend meter into our entries here. I've just been looking at the momentum signal, but maybe the trend meter would be a good catalyst as well. So let me just take a screenshot of all my profits real quick. Yeah, so this one right here wouldn't have been a good entry. You can see right there that it actually would have hit its stop loss. So I'm glad we skipped out on this one right here and waited for it. So yeah, that helps, right? I'm glad that we didn't take it, but it helps to see when losses do happen so that we can analyze this to figure out what could have been done differently. I think a couple main things here that we could look at would be what Maddie looks at. So if there's a pending momentum in the opposite direction, maybe skip that trade. Another thing that Patrick also brought up was, since the trend meter was red, that's why he would skip that trade. So, we'll use all this information to help us really better our ability to avoid risky trades here. Because there's a couple of things that I already identified, like certain things, like when price is ranging or moving sideways, that's obviously a time where you should avoid them. And then these other little things that we'll continue to add on. Because right here, this wouldn't fit the criteria. It's just that price started to go sideways for a while and super heavily. Yeah, exactly. So Maddie also mentioned, it looks like if you took it at the bottom, as soon as it wicked appeared, yeah, that probably would have hit it. But yeah, it just depend on like where your entry would have been made. Patrick over here as well, he said that fundamentals, he feels like fundamentals, trend meter, and momentum together for higher probability entries. Yeah, and I agree with that too, Patrick. Maddie said I would also look at price points. Um, if we anticipate sessions or opening price, and we can take buys or sells until it gets there. Yeah, and Patrick also mentioned, or the other Patrick, sorry guys, there's two Patrick here. It's Pat Kerr and the other Patrick. He also mentioned that price was below the pivots. So there's a couple things there. So I'm glad that you guys are mentioning this because these are things to keep an eye out for, right? Trend using the trend meter, trend using the pivots, the momentum signals, the high lows. There's a lot of things that go into really analyzing and identifying, where price is likely to go. Our target price point this whole morning was opening price right here, and price finally hit it. So I marked it up over here, as you guys can see. This is going to be the determining factor whether price is going to swing back up or whether it's going to continue dropping from this point and knocking out all the liquidity, because there's a lot of liquidity right here sitting on the bottom. Right, there's liquidity down here and liquidity down here and liquidity down here, all over the place. So we'll see if price continues to drop lower. If it does, it's right into this area where the zones are. Make sure to see if these zones are still there. Yeah, they're good. So there could be a possible SR rejection entry right here. Main issue here is that it's getting close to it's still at the opening price around that point. So you have to look for a moderate red candle here, which does not look like it's going to close. Let me just take a screenshot of the rest of my profits real quick before I move forward. Okay, so this candle right here touched the opening price. So obviously no entry there. Man, I got so many accounts. Yeah, find a quicker way to screenshot these. All right, so I think that's it. So let's see, I got shoot one more Hanko trade. Yeah, it seems like Hanko trade charges a lot of fees and spread super wide because I don't know why, but like last week my Hanko trade is doing perfectly fine. Now it's like locking in like barely any profit. But anyways, here are all of my profits. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right, so there's no entry right here, unfortunately. We just gotta wait for it. It's 7:54 right now. I didn't realize we were on the session for about an hour and a half already. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to put your questions in the chat. Otherwise, time flew and profits flew as well. So we've been watching the charts for about an hour and a half. I locked in some pretty good profit over here. So let me just give a little update right here. I'll show you guys what I locked in. So here's my main account. You can see the green strips here for the ones that hit full TP. Some of them I had to close early. Total profit of 1,440 off this account. Here is my second account, FTMO Copier. Locked in a little more profit here, some slippage in my favor, locked in 1,740. Here is my TFF. I had all wins on this account. I didn't trade this count last night. So I locked in 2,579. So a lot more profit on my TFF. Here is my MFF number 1, locked in 990. Pretty good profit right there. My MFF number 2 over here, I locked in a total profit of 1,740. So slippage worked in my favor here as well, which is great. I like it when it works in my favor. I don't like it when it doesn't. Here's my third MFF. You can see I locked in a total profit of 2,270. I didn't take any trades on this last night because the account wasn't connected. So all wins off this account right here. And here's my Hanko trade. You can see it's some weirdness here. I don't know what's going on, but I don't know, some slippage. It's still down like 18 cents, which is whatever. But it is kind of annoying to see all the accounts doing well except for, the personal account there. But it is what it is. I'll go ahead and copy these over real quick to the groups here. And then I think there's some more profits here that you guys posted up as well. So if you guys have any profits posted up, feel free to post them up and I'll add them to the list. If you guys have any questions, feel free to put your questions in the chat. But just a reminder, we are doing the mentoring session later today. So if you guys want to ask them later so I can have a more detailed response for you guys, we can do that as well. So looking over here real quick, let me see if there's any profits that were posted. I think Ross posted his profits here. Let me scroll up real quick. Yeah, so Ross over here posted his profits. He's currently up 8,118. Amazing work right there, Ross. He had one loss there, but everything else straight wins. So great work right there, Ross. Straight profits right there. I mean, if this is a challenge right here, I think this might be I don't know, this might be a FTMO account. It looks like you're halfway done in one day. So great work right there, Ross. Just got to keep up the consistency with it. Possible entry here for an SR rejection, but the candle here was a little too big. Looks like it already hit TP on that next candle following it. Nice, nice. Yeah, so Ross is on a TFF phase 2. So great work right there, Ross. Hitting your profit. And yeah, I mean, you're about to be funded soon on that account. So great work. Oh, you passed it. Okay, awesome. So you passed it. Yeah. So Ross actually just passed his TFF. So we had 2 people here pass their challenges today. We had Maddie pass his MFF challenge. He's about to pass his FTMO. And then we have Ross over here just passed his TFF. So now he's funded. Or I guess you got to wait for the days to pass. Or actually, I don't know. TFF doesn't have a day requirement, right? So I think you should be good. So nice work, Ross. Congrats to you. Barack over here, some more profits. He said he got a little more here through your last zone where you spiked, locked in a total profit of 1,017 for the day. Amazing work, Barack. So Barack here showed up to the session late. He's still locking some profits along the way. He was at 586 earlier this morning. He's now at 1,017. So solid work, Barack. If you guys have any more profits to post up, feel free to post them up. Otherwise, we will be wrapping this up pretty soon. It's 7:58 right now. So 8 o'clock is my cutoff time. The thing that I noticed, not just with a lot of people, but with myself, is if I trade after 8, it becomes very, very risky, right? So what I keep myself on is a routine. Once it hits 8 o'clock, I'm done, right? I get off the computer, I go walk my dogs, I go to the gym, I do whatever I need to do. And then maybe later at 11, I'll look for some more later entries. But my advice to you guys is probably just take a break. We've been on this live session for about an hour and a half. It's time to just, chill out for a little bit and refocus, right? Go take a walk, go get some water, go get some coffee or something, just to clear up your mind. Because the thing is, if you're staring at the charts for hours, at the caliber that we're staring at the charts, you're going to start to get lazy and you're going to start to get sloppy. So that's one thing that I do recommend for you guys, because I see a lot of people and it's crazy. It blows my mind. I'll see a lot of people lock in a lot of profit from like 6:30 to 8. And then from 8 to 9, they start doing their own trades. And then they send me their account and it's like blown account after blown account. And it's all about like getting greedy, because what happens is you guys lock in a lot of profit from now until 8. And then you lose one trade, right? You lose one trade right after we get off the live. And as soon as you guys lose that trade, you start to revenge trade. So you just take loss after loss after loss. And then you end up in a huge hole, or you end up with a blown account. So just make sure to have the discipline, guys. I can only tell you guys so much. It's really you guys that have to execute on that. Yeah, Patrick said you go grill those delicious steaks for you and the pups. I know, right? It's probably gonna be dinner or lunch for today. But yeah, guys, it's 8 o'clock right now. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to put your questions in the chat. Otherwise, if you guys can attend the mentoring session later today at 4 o'clock, sorry, why did I say 4 o'clock? 2 o'clock. If you guys can attend the mentoring session today at 2 o'clock, we're going to be covering the strategy for the high-low quick scalp. Where did I put it on here? I swear I put the requirements for this here. Oh, here we go. So we're going to be going over the strategy in detail during the mentoring session later today. So we'll cover it. We'll do a refresher on the variation V1 and continuation. And then we'll also do a refresher on the SR rejection scalp. And then this will be our main focus for today so that you guys can really understand this and you guys can really implement it tomorrow on the next live session. So, all right, guys, I think that's it for now. If you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out. Otherwise, I will be back here in about 6 hours for the group mentoring session. So we'll get right to it, knock it out, and make sure that you guys understand this. So, all right, guys, hopefully all you guys locked in some pretty good profit for today. If you guys have any profits to post up, feel free to post them up. You guys can see here, we have a lot of good profits to kick off the week. Not just me, but everyone in the group pretty much. It's a pretty good day today. So, yeah, Maddie said, locking in my profits for my drink off with Tommy. Yeah, no, definitely. All right, Maddie. So, all right, guys, I'll see you guys later today. If you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out. Otherwise, I'll be back here in the next 6 hours for the group mentoring session as we dial in on these strategies. So, all right, guys, catch you guys later. If you guys aren't there later, I'll see you guys tomorrow morning for the next live session. So